Hello, everyone. Hoping a few folks will join me here shortly. And today we are going to read a book and practice pronunciation. And the book is The Leaf Man. Lois Ehlert is the author. And I discovered this book at the library last week and fell in love with it and wished I were back teaching campfire boys and girls or a classroom or family activity. And so I decided to share this book with loopers. So hello.
Hello.
And hello.
Hello, Ivan.
So the loyal loopers are here for The Leaf Man. So this is the cover of our book today. And it's definitely a children's book by conception, but I am one of those who believe that children's books are wonderful for children of all ages, and that there is always a child inside of us. So do you agree, or do you think children's books are only for children, young children?
I like to read the children books.
Yes, we discussed it yesterday. It's complicated for me, but most of these books are eligible.
And you had mentioned that you hadn't been reading children's books for many years, but now are surprised a little bit at your reactions to some of them. different than your reactions might have been as a child. And certainly true for me. I often take deeper meaning from things. But just looking at the cover, what would you expect this book to be about?
About fall. About autumn.
Autumn, okay. And?
About leaves.
Lots of leaves.
Lots of leaves.
And the man. Hopefully will be at least a man there.
And as a woman, that's the one thing I wish were different about this book. Leaf person or leaf woman, leaf child, leaf creature. But my feminist self reacts every time I see man for its limitation.
Women are home, taking care of kids and cooking and cleaning. I'm safe at home.
One thing I liked about this book also was inside the very first cover. I don't know if this will show up or not, but in very small print are the names. I don't even know if you can see it on here, but are the names of the trees, so that you can identify the leaves. So this book does have some vocabulary. So if you were expecting vocabulary, the names of the trees that these leaves come from, or autumn vocabulary, what words come to your mind? How many trees can you name?
Maple leaf.
Maple.
Maple leaf.
Not map, but May. Maple.
Maple.
Maple leaves.
Maple tree.
Beech. I don't know how to pronounce
it. Beech, yes.
Birch.
Birch.
Willow tree.
Fir.
Yeah, it's
a fir.
Oh,
no, it's pronounced the same way as fur on a bear or an animal.
Yeah.
Fir.
It's a Christmas tree, actually.
So pine, fir and pine, often people will mention together.
Oak.
Oak.
Oak tree.
Oak.
And the main one in Russia is Sosna, but I don't know how it's.
Poplar. When I think of Russian trees, I think of poplar.
It's
Poplar.
Oh,
pine,
that's
pine maybe.
pine and poplar. Yeah, poplar trees always come to my mind. So, other names of trees or other words associated with leaves and autumn.
It's dirt.
Dirt.
Yes. Autumn here is always dirty.
Okay.
It's rain, dirt, and
So muddy. It gets
Muddy,
muddy
I
muddy.
with
guess.
the rain. What else?
Short
about-
days,
Shorter days. Yeah.
less sun, shine, high humidity.
High humidity?
Humidity, yes.
When it's raining. That's funny. I associate autumn with drier air. Winter comes and air gets drier. We have some rain in autumn, but then crunchy leaves. And the sounds that leaves make. So some people will say crunch when you walk on them. What other
Yes.
sounds do leaves make or do people make when they walk on leaves?
Yeah, but very soon the rain season starts and no crunchy leaves.
So maybe less rain here.
Most of the
That-
time the leaves are wet.
And that's not true here. So very different experience. More often dry and the leaves kick up and float and fly in the air. Not something you do a lot of?
In September we have this, but after October, November for sure. November is like foggy
Dreary.
days, almost every day.
We have very short autumn here, maybe few weeks, because the October is already winter. So it's, so our autumn is entire autumn is inside the September, and some years it's wet, some years it's dry. Yes, you cannot guess what it will be next year.
So
Here
what
in-
was challenge for you to catch the pictures with your son and the Indian? How you say Indian summer?
Indian summer.
Indian
Yes.
summer.
I
Indian
didn't
summer.
know this expression.
And what is an Indian summer?
It's a
Indian
short-
summer is a short time after autumn when the summer strikes back.
Right.
But in Russia we never call it Indian summer. It's always like woman summer. It's
Because the women strike back?
no, not because of that. Because it's from its historical name from old age. Because all agricultural works jobs are done, and it's time for celebrate for women. They don't. they don't
Not
have.
true. Women's
they
work
don't-
is never done.
But in past times they have a lot of celebrations, a lot of
Yes.
festivals and like that. And it's good because the winter it's not started, the work is already ended, so it's
a lot
women
of food
summer.
still.
And the crops are harvested, yes. Wonderful, fresh food and cooler temperatures most of the time when it's not Indian summer. Cooler temperatures to cook in. I always feel like cooking more in the autumn. That's when I spend more time in the kitchen or want to.
To become fat for Christmas.
Hey, so there's still a few vocabulary words you'll pick up on. And I thought I would show the book a bit first and then
Oh,
share the words, and I hear your phone ringing, so go ahead if you need to. Yeah.
I can.
So the book is big, so it's hard to get it to show on your screen, but it has great illustrations. So can you see the leaf man?
Mm-hmm.
Can you close my sound? I can.
Yes, I think I can do that.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I just muted Karina for now. She'll have to remind us when she's ready to be unmuted. So the book I like for a few reasons. The illustrations here show the mountains in the background, and then the other pages are all like the mountains. They're cut. They're not a straight across page, so they fit. So there's a lot of imagination in the book.
I'm sorry, but is it called like something like herbarium or something like this? Is it a word or no?
Herbarium. I'm not familiar with the definition of herbarium, but to me, a herbarium would be like a greenhouse for herbs. Would be a place to grow them.
What you show me this book. I made this book. I made such books each year when I was student. It was a task.
Okay.
And
so you kept a collection.
yes,
Yes.
and we call it herbarium. Yes, we keep up leaves and some way make a book that will be
interesting.
Some art. And our students in school continue to go with to make it.
Yeah. I often pick up beautiful leaves and just place them in attractive arrangements on the table just to admire until they curl up and are no longer so beautiful.
Yes. But it's obligatory for each student.
It's usually an easy task to get students to go along with. Well, this book continues that. So do you see something here made out of the leaves? And so it has lots of different examples of the colors. And I love that it shows what some would call imperfect leaves, because I used to have to, there she is. She's back again. Yes.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, my internet was...
I had muted you, and I just needed you to tell me when to unmute, but you solved the problem. Yeah, so it just has beautiful illustrations. So what do you see there?
I don't see anything. You shared something? I see the loop sign.
Oh, you see a loop sign?
Yeah, you see something else, Ivan?
I see the book.
You should be seeing the book, yeah.
Oh.
And you're not. Maybe you want to leave and come back and see what happens?
I lived and I come back now. It's not the same link. Yes. Yeah, I will look for the book somewhere online.
Well, so you can watch the recording and see it. So I'm just going to flip through and show some of the pictures, and then I'll share the words for us to practice. And I won't show all.
Very funny bird, I see.
A funny bird is what you saw? Yeah. I liked this page too. Some of the pages are very different, showing the different colors of the season. And there are so many colors to autumn. And then it shows water, so you can see
some turtle
out of leaves. So children can have fun seeing and imagining, and then the more artistic children can have fun creating things. So it's a beautiful book, and many teachers are not artistic and don't think about how to be creative. So many teachers I can see would love this book because it would make their job easier.
Children are very creative. I always surprised of what my boys seen in such ordinary things. And I have some post. I should post into Loop. Posted somewhere else, but it was a riddle for me how my boys see the nature.
And their perceptions, they are shorter, and they see the world from a different angle, and they're closer to those leaves, and at a time where they're usually less distracted by some of the responsibilities of life. So it is, I love the magic of taking a walk with a child, a talkative child, and hearing what they have to say and share.
Yes, I can never guess such questions or such comments. I just don't think this way.
Well, here's the first sentence, the first page of the book. Who wants to read it? Can you see it in the chat?
Yes, I see. Leaf man used to live near me in a pile of leaves.
In a pile of leaves. Do you have piles of leaves near you in the fall?
Yes, yes. Each tree have a pile of leaves under it.
Until the wind blows, right? Even in the city, is it possible for most children to find piles of leaves? Oh, we lost Karina.
My city is pretty green. We have a lot of trees.
Yeah. So this is something most children, and even if they don't have leaves at home, hopefully around a school, even a city school, I hope every school has at least one tree. Almost everywhere in the world, I hope. So this is something that I think reaches most children. And pile of leaves, so some good pronunciation, leaf man, used to. When you hear used to, do you pronounce the D?
Used to. No, correct?
No. Yeah, no, you're correct. You do not. But it's definitely S, used to. Whereas if something is used for this purpose or that purpose, then you do pronounce the D. But in used to, I used to do this, I used to do that, used to. Some people type used to, I used to do that. So pronunciation-wise, you don't hear it. So it's a simple sentence, but has some useful emphasis of F versus V, and the length of pile. Used to live versus life.
Leaves. Pile of leaves.
Leaves, not leaves, but leaves. So F, V. So V will get the vibration.
Leaves. Yes.
And Karina's back. Can you hear better now?
Yeah, I move another.
Okay. All right. So if you're seeing the chat, the next sentence is yours. The next page, mine, I just posted.
I see. But yesterday the wind blew leaf man away. He left no travel plans.
And try that again.
But yesterday the wind blew leaf man away. He left no travel plans.
But yesterday the wind blew leaf man away. He left no travel plans. So for children to try and get conversation going, or for us as big children, this is what happens, right? If you see things in the leaves, the wind blows them away. So if you have a pile of leaves, or you create rake leaves, so rake, if you use a rake and rake up the leaves, that's the tool you use to rake piles.
No, the last sentence, he left no travel plans, it's not really clear for me.
Okay.
It's what it means. It's
but a child would understand it right away. So I think like a kid, so I can understand it. Of course, it's also my language. But when you go somewhere, Right. When you go somewhere, you tell your boss or your coworkers or your family where you are going, right? If you're traveling, somebody usually knows where you are going. But Leaf Man just left.
Ah, so he did not say anything, just left.
Right.
Yeah.
And for kids who talk to leaves and trees and flowers all the time, so it buys you into the story. Right? We're trying to suspend your disbelief. Leaf Man is a real guy. He's a real person. And he didn't leave any travel plans. Where did he go? So where do you think the wind blew Leaf Man to?
I read the story, so I know.
You have read it. Okay,
Yeah.
you found the book. Okay.
From YouTube, I tried to follow the link from YouTube.
Yeah, it showed several pages,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So the next line, Ivan.
The last time I saw him, he was headed east, past the chickens.
Past the chickens. We need to hear that T.
Past
and then go
the
to the, stick out the tongue for TH. So past the chickens. The last time I saw him, he was headed east. The wind was blowing that way. Past the chickens. How a child might think. But again, good pronunciation practice. And speaking quickly and not articulating, you might say, last time I saw him, last time I saw him. Last time I saw the last time I saw him, very different sentence. So the challenges you have in hearing English are very, in any language, I think, are very real because they don't always match perfect pronunciation. So he was headed, Grina,
toward the marsh, over the ducks and geese.
Toward the marsh.
Over the ducks and geese.
What is a marsh?
The wet land, I think, is the wet land around the pond.
Around a pond.
The forest
Interesting.
and no, it's a lake. It's a pond.
Interesting. We have lots of marshlands where there are no lakes or ponds, just marsh.
So high grass only?
So it's wet. A marshland, a marsh is wet. If you walk through it, you're going to sink and your feet will get wet. But it's not always very deep. If it's on the edge of a lake or a pond, you'll see it deeper. But the marsh is where there are lots of grasses and other foliage. Good question. A bog and a marsh.
I don't know what is a bog.
Different in my mind, but I don't know if I can define the difference. A good challenge question for Holly. I think of a bog as thicker vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe less running water, less water flow in a bog. A bog, the vegetation doesn't get a chance to get washed away so much. It just bogs down. That's the expression, bogs down.
As I remember from my geography course from school, the bog and the how we call it,
marsh.
The marsh is just years overflooded by water. It's what my book said.
Okay, so they might be identical. When they're labeled as bogs, not blogs, bogs or marshes, in my mind, and when I explore them, if I'm going to a marsh, I'll wear boots, but if I'm going to a bog, I'll wear waders, what they call waders, that go up higher on your leg too, because I'll expect to sink down deeper. But I'm not sure if there is a technical difference So I will answer that question after class with some research. Excellent question. Okay. So then we have a bug and a bog. Good pronunciation question. Bug, bog.
Bog.
Bug,
It's a schwa sound.
bog.
Oa.
So not schwa. Schwa's
Oa. Oa.
bog. So you're saying bog sounds more like a schwa? Or bug? Interesting. So here's, there are so many vowel sounds. I wouldn't call either of them a schwa in my mind.
It's oa. Oa sound.
Boa, boa constrictor. It's not boa, but that's 2 syllables. Bois, like bog, hog, soggy. Soggy's different. Sog. It's not aw. Yeah, so it's not the same as soggy. Soggy. Bog. Maybe the same. Interesting. So we'll hear it differently, and the words before and after will influence the sound.
But hopefully the context is different from bug and bog, so we can different.
Bogs have lots of bugs. The buggy bog.
Yes, but ducks not live in bugs.
Oh, now I heard the one. It's O sound. Bog.
Bog. Oh. But it's not aw. It's not a diphthong. Bog.
Bog.
Ha. Ba. Bog.
Not
really that either. Interesting.
Ulsi.
Yeah. So I'm hearing myself change my sound as I'm thinking about it. And vowels will do that, certainly.
We influence your pronunciation.
because you are attacked by Russian
pronunciation. Stay strong, Holly.
All right. I'm ready for it. So here's the refrain that the kids were supposed to get excited and start chanting. A leaf man's got to go where the wind blows. A leaf man's gotta go. Right? So here's where, we're gotta. A leaf man's gotta go where the wind blows. A leaf man's got to go. Sounds odd. I want to say gotta. A leaf man's gotta go where the wind blows. Where is unexpected. Why?
I expect when or something like this, but not where.
But he's traveling. And we don't know where he went. His travel plans were not
one place to another. Follow him.
When or why, for me, it's more natural.
Right, and in this case, it's why, because he's stuck going where the wind takes him. Right? So here are part of his travel plans.
He blew over the fields of pumpkins and winter squash.
So punk is a word, but we want pumpkin. Pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
Pump, not pumpkins, but pumpkins.
Pumpkins and winter squash.
Squash.
So
you squish your kid if you give him a little hug. Squish. Different than squash. Or if you're walking through the mud, you might go squish, squish, squish. But squash, we eat. Winter squash is the orange squash. When I think of squash, I think of winter squash or zucchini, or summer squash, the yellow. But many people I talk to, when they hear squash, they think pumpkins. So squash is a word understood differently around the world, depending on what's grown in your area. Eggplant is not a squash. Aubergine is a word many people know instead of eggplant. we know this. We use aubergine as the color of the deep purple color of an eggplant. Eggplant, not a squash family, but certainly harvested at the same time as the squash are. So we see them together. Cauliflower, the cabbages and squashes. Autumn harvest here. So it's logical that the leaf man would see these things as he flies around. He gets to travel over pretty places. So Krina, what else did he see?
And flew over the turkey, past potatoes, carrots, and cabbages in rows.
Careful with pass and past and post, right?
Past, post, past.
But here it's not past, but past. So we need that final consonant. Past potatoes. So
past potatoes, carrots, and cabbages in rows.
Yeah. And I want to say all in a row because many children's books would use all in a row instead of rows. But we need rows because we're rhyming with the refrain. A leaf man's got to go where the wind blows. So the cabbages are in rows to try and build in that repetition to help pronunciation and vocabulary retention. So all these tricks that we try to get you to use as adult learners of language are built in to many children's books because that's an easy way to learn and a more fun way to learn.
Then he blew out of sight. Is he drifting west above the orchards?
Orchards. Okay. Orchards. Krina, do you know orchard?
Yeah.
An orchard is?
Where the fruit
trees grow. So apples, pears. Yeah. When they are grapes, we call them vineyards, where the grapevines are to grow for wine or grape production. Here are called vineyards, not vineyards, but vineyards. Crazy English. So then he blew out of sight. So out of sight wants to be one thought chunk. Not then he blew out, like you blow out a candle, but he blew out of sight. Is he drifting west? So he went east, and now maybe the wind is switching back and going east. And in the autumn, that's something I noticed as a kid, was the wind came from all directions, and many times the leaves would swirl this way, that way, this side of the yard, that side of the yard, the neighbor's yard. So again, something else that usually is observable. We're back to Krina.
Yeah. Or over the prairie meadows and past the spotted cows.
Past
the spotted cows.
Yeah, cows. So a lot of interesting pronunciation challenges. So try that again.
Or over the prairie meadows and past the spotted cows.
And it's a question. So, so then he blew out of sight. Is he drifting west above the orchards? Or over the prairie meadows and past the spotted cows?
Come above the question.
What exactly mean and past? It means that move along it or over it.
Over it, right? He's leaf man in the wind, so he's over it. Over the prairie meadows. I don't know if Krina can see the pictures or not now, but this is one of the pages that I see
now. I'm fine.
Okay, so I want to show, if I can find it, I'm going to show that page because I like that page. Where the heck is it? Here we are. So he's flying over the prairie meadows. So the background color changes and they show lots of seasonal colors. So the spotted cows, in your culture, in your region, do you have cows that are spotted?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Most of them are spotted.
Yeah.
Do you know, most of them are?
Yes.
Do you know the names of cows?
No.
So here,
I used to know
here Holstein
Holstein.
cows are what I think, Holstein.
Holstein.
Yes,
Holstein. Here,
I'm-
Holstein.
German. It's Holland.
But
I'm
this is
speaking-
U.S. killing of pronunciation.
Holstein?
Yeah, Ivan wants to say
I
Ivan.
live in industrial area, so calls here just for fun. Just
Okay.
for fun.
And many children grow up today not knowing what a real cow looks like. I grew up on a farm.
They saw it in the shop.
Yes, yeah. So in a classroom where I grew up, even though I was one of only 5 farm families in our large school, when I was young, people still knew the names of cows, and so in a class you would also bring that up and just review. So Holstein are the black and white cows that are often seen on commercials. I always liked Guernsey cows. They're the soft brown, friendly, cuddlier looking cows to me. But here the Leaf Man is going over so-and-so's farm because they have Holstein. Right? And then we have our refrain again. So you guys can read this together. See how synchronously you can read. 1, 2, 3.
Well, a little.
Man's.
Again.
It's hard because we have different delay.
Yes.
A challenge of
We are
online learning.
Read your first.
So just like kids everywhere, you're making excuses.
No, it's a delay.
I like it. Inventive. So maybe
Leaf Man's gliding on a lake breeze.
So maybe Leaf Man is
gliding on a lake breeze.
So maybe Leaf Man's gliding on a lake breeze. So can't you just feel that breeze coming across the lake? Or
flying along the river, following butterflies going south.
South. Not south, not sow, but south. So you have sow. Anybody know what a sow is?
No.
Female pig.
Yeah.
A female pig is a sow. You have souse, which is a drunk. Or you have south.
South.
Which is
Where
the direction.
the Leaf Man is going.
Following the butterflies, because what do butterflies do in the autumn?
I don't know. I'm very busy in the autumn, so I don't follow the butterflies.
The monarch butterflies? And all children in the U.S. learn about monarch butterflies in late summer and when school starts. You release the monarchs.
I was thinking that butterflies live for one day or like that.
Right, but the monarchs migrate. They actually travel, and it's beautiful, and there are lots of photos of them online. Fun Google search. and very much a strong part of the standardized science curriculum for children. So this book has got little clues to bring in other things the kids are learning. So you can see why my teacher self wanted to go back to school and use this book. It has lots of help to tie in curriculum. And you guys get another chance. The next line is our refrain.
Yeah.
I'm passing.
1, 2, 3.
You are, well, oh, well, a leaf man's got to go where the wind blows.
This is where the kids get rowdy and say they've had enough of this book.
You left me alone, Ivan. You will pay.
Who read it?
You. He might even.
He might even be traveling north above leaves that looks like him.
Try
White
that again.
leaves. Mhm. He might even be traveling north above leaves that looks like him.
So north, stick out that tongue, north to get that unvoiced TH, north, above, leaves. So we have V, V, Z sound that look like him. And this page they have the tops of the trees and the mountains that look like leaf points. And not everyone sees that, but it is true. The skyline often looks like the points of leaves. So in the book they have the leaves pointing north. When kids see maps, and still most of the time when adults see maps, north is oriented straight up. So again, is trying to bring in lessons that children are often learning.
Some
We're
geography.
brilliant, so we know these things. Yeah.
Or flying over mountains with a flock of birds.
Again?
Or flying over mountains with a flock of birds.
Yeah, so Leaf Man might be flying over the
Migrating.
mountains, wow, with a flock of birds, something else we often see. So as a parent or a teacher, you're connecting with lots of things that are parts of
Excuse me, you
an
say
autumn
flying
day.
or flying?
Flying.
Ah, flying.
Flay is a not nice word. Is a verb, but we don't want to flay, we want to fly, or at least I would much rather fly than flay. Yeah.
When Leaf Man looks down on the earth, is he lonesome for home?
Earth, north, south.
Yes. When Leaf Man looks down on the earth, is he lonesome for home?
Is he lonesome for home? So, do you think if you fly up in outer space or fly like the Leaf Man, you might be a little scared because you're adventuring off alone? It's dangerous to go off by yourself too far.
Ivan, how you pronounce earth? Earth?
Yours.
Yeah, no, earth. How you pronounce Holy?
So let me ask you both. Think of a word that that rhymes with the beginning of. What's a word that has that same vowel R sound? It's not ear.
Earth.
What rhymes with that vowel plus R?
Yeah. I don't know. Another word? The bird?
This?
Yours.
Yours.
North. Earth, north.
So south, ow, nor, but it's not orth, so it's not the same as north. Birth, work, were, birth, earth. It does rhyme with birth. You give birth on earth to an earthling.
The poem is ready.
Only the wind knows for sure. So a flock of birds, earth. In Ivan's pronunciation, I do hear a little bit of stretching more of the sound. It's not, but vowels with R change in each of our hearing, how we hear those sounds, and in some dialects, how it's pronounced. So birth, earth, were, burr, birth. TH also changes how you hear an R sound. So it's a challenging question to answer, but to try to pronounce it, it's were, earth. So we're not sure where he went, but
Ivan, it's your time, no?
This I do know, where leaf man will land, only the wind knows.
This I do know.
This I do know, where leaf man will land, only the wind knows.
Only the wind knows. So wind is the verb. If you wind an old-fashioned watch, but the wind blows. So another example of a word that changes pronunciation by part of speech. Yeah. So
listen for a rustle in the leaves.
And rustle is the word I was trying to pull from you earlier with the sound that you make when you walk through the leaves or when the wind blows through the leaves, right? So many times I think I'm hearing a squirrel or a person, and I'll do a turnaround double take, and it's just the wind rustling the leaves. Can be kind of spooky when you're walking.
Or the mystery man.
So don't go too far from home. Watch out for strangers, and maybe
you'll find a leafman waiting to go home with you.
And then here's the entire book. So you two are going to read it back. So we find where it starts here. And where do we start? A leaf man's got to go. No, that's what we do know. But yesterday, maybe you'll. Okay. Leaf man used to live near me in a pile of leaves. Can you scroll back up and find that?
Yes, I do.
And okay, so you start since you found it, and then alternate the sentences.
Leaf man used to live near me in a pile of leaves.
But yesterday the wind blew leaf man away. He left no travel plans.
The last time I saw him, he was headed east, past the chickens.
Toward the marsh, over the ducks and geese.
Together now. A leaf man's got to go where the wind blows.
He blew over the field of pumpkins and winter squash.
And flew over the turkey, past potatoes, carrots, and cabbages in rows.
Then he blew out of sight. Is he drifting west above the orchards? Orchards?
Orchards,
Orchards.
orchards.
Or over the prairie meadows and past the spotted cows?
Well, a leaf man got to go where the wind blows.
Maybe leaf man is gliding on a lake breeze.
Flying along the river, following butterflies going south. South.
Well, a leaf man is got to go where the wind blows.
He might even be traveling north above leaves that looks like him.
Or flying over the mountains with a flock of birds.
This I do know. Where a leaf man will land, only the wind knows.
So listen for a rustle in the leaves.
Maybe you'll find a leaf man waiting to go home with you.
Leaf man is
Yeah. So some challenges between live and leave. Live, leave. Right? Leave is longer.
Leaves.
And last is a woman, young woman. Last is an adjective. So last. So you need that release of air to get the T heard. And the same with past, not pass, but past. So if you think about what's happening in your mouth, pass, S ends inside, past has a puff of air coming out, an aspiration of air. So past. But to get that final consonant, you need to bring your tongue forward and release that air, release the T. And leaf man's is leaf man has to, a leaf man has to, a leaf man's got to, a leaf man's got to go where the wind blows. So it's an odd contraction there to try and make the refrain something kids will want to repeat. Adults don't like it. You guys didn't like that refrain. And south, and only the wind. Wind is the verb, wind, the noun, the wind blowing in the sky. So nicely done. And a few challenges. So, ow, and final consonants, right? That make a challenge. So what do you remember after reading this book? What other thoughts come to mind? What other names of trees?
No, I don't know in my language the names of the trees.
Okay, many people don't. I love ginkgo leaves. I don't know if you know ginkgo, and that's this one. Ginkgo.
With B.
It's got a very distinctive shape, the ginkgo leaves, and they drop. When ginkgo trees drop, they drop all together overnight. So one day is a beautiful yellow tree, and the next morning every leaf is on the ground. In Korea, there are millions of ginkgo trees, and it's just beautiful. One day is a canopy of gold, and the next day you're walking in gold. And that afternoon, the shopkeepers have cleared every leaf away. The shopkeepers are so good.
Do you extract something from this tree to make your, yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a strong herbal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I noticed the ginkgo leaves when I read, and I had memories of Korea. So what memories for you when you think of leaves or trees or autumn? What other stories can you tell us?
Now I remember we had a ginkgo biloba tree like we say, ginkgo.
Yes, yes, ginkgo
But
biloba.
when I was in high school, I saw it last time. I don't know what happened now. Was close to my school, to high school. Well, actually, was my school from the first grade to the end, 12th grade. I don't know, someone donated when my father was a student at this school, so many years ago.
They are one tree that can live thousands of years. I remember visiting a 3,000-year-old tree.
I just tried to add a bingo in my vocabulary, my online dictionary. They send me the strange
that it has a
translation.
meaning. Huh? I don't know this. I don't know the word bingo.
It's referring what you explain. It just like leaves drop down in one day, so it's.
Interesting.
Like it. He's doing.
So did you play with leaves when you were young? What are things you remember associated with leaves? You must have leaf stories.
Well, not too much, because it just what's the most about leaves? It's just Indian summer, just last calm days. That's all.
Right, so if you tell a leaf story here, you can practice it, and then you can write it and enter it in the contest.
It's a hint.
Yes, a hint.
It's a push.
Deadline is coming soon, November 7th. Yeah. So no leaf memories. I have so many leaf memories.
We are not allowed to play in the leaves, but we played a little bit. Jump from the branch of the tree.
To a big pile. Yeah. But I'm also remembering that you both said fall is usually wet. See, and we didn't. Here is quite opposite. Often dry, big piles of dry leaves that were cushions to land on and hide in and spook people, jump out.
But kids have to work by parents' side, so not so much time to play.
No, you're right.
School starts in September 15th, so you have to go to school in the morning, do your homework, and help your parents, and it's dark. And you are tired.
Where you live, industrial or rural or city.
You need to take a bath because after working outside, you are dirty, so you need to prepare for next day of school. And I was walking almost a mile every day. It wasn't fun because it was the mud road.
To walk through the mud, not always fun. Many people here, as adults, if you mention the leaves, they say raking. But here now, today, also something that's changed. I never heard of or saw a leaf blower when I was a child, but now that's what we hear in the neighborhood. On a clear fall day, you hear the leaf blowers engine. Everyone's out clearing their driveway, sometimes 3 and 4 times a day, to keep their driveways clear of leaves.
We use a broom made from branches. I don't remember what's the name of the plant.
But you made your own brooms and used them. So
best time is now, wasn't there? Back then was a lot of work, hard work.
So the verb to leave, if you don't remember the noun leaves, what about the verb to leave? What are some travel plans you had in the past or have? Where would you like to leave and go away to? Or where have you left? and gone to?
I don't know where to live. I don't see any better place now.
Oh,
Yeah.
staying safe at home.
I had plans.
Hopefully safe at
Yeah,
home.
Greece was my on my list, but
Mm.
it's not anymore. After I get a contract for Holland, maybe I will go for 1 year. But
Holland?
yes, Netherlands.
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
On my dream list. Lots of flowers there.
yes. Yeah, it's nice. The
I'd
winter
like
is
to
not
be
so
like
bad.
Leaf Man and fly. I'd like to fly around the world, have the wind take me here and there. Um, are you a traveler, Ivan?
No, no at
No,
all.
not at all. Okay. Huh. So I'm the only one who wants to go away with Leaf Man. Huh?
Yes. I like stay home to have my friends over to go. My friends. I love
So there's the word for
peaceful.
someone who likes to stay close to home. Do you know the name?
Homesick? No.
Not
No.
a homesick, but a homebody. Someone who's a
Homebody.
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 Somebody who prefers to stay close to home. And not a travel bug. Doesn't have a travel bug. But if you're homesick, you want to be home. You're away and you want to be home. Rather home words, homebody, homesick.
It's no
Homey.
homesick when you leave and you want to go home.
Modern
Your mom.
slang.
Yeah.
Yeah, miss your mom. Usually it's moms.
Yeah.
Not always, but usually.
Mm-hmm.
Homie is a slang word you sometimes hear in movies. Means friend, your close friend, your homie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw this spelling sometimes.
Homies is
Homies.
plural. Mm-hmm. Your crew, your gang, homies. Yeah. So the language gets twisted and turned and blown with the wind, trying to stay with it.
So when you go to Asia?
I don't know. We're supposed to be this year, but not going to be. And my income has dropped almost in half this year. I have not had nearly as many donations or paying students this year. So I'm trying to get the nonprofit approved and hoping that I can find some philanthropists who want to donate. But I can't justify.
How is the name? Angel investor, no?
Angel investor, not for a nonprofit. Angel investors, if I were a good marketer, I could go out and try and find people to invest in me and then develop a way to earn money that would pay back the angel investor. But there is no forecast of lots of money coming from Loop. It's not what I'm after, but I do need to put food on the table and help pay the mortgage, and I'm not doing that.
You still have mortgage, God.
Yes, oh yes. A lot less than many people, but still a mortgage.
Yeah.
Nonprofit is more Holly's style and still is strong in education. You're either out for money or you're out because you love teaching, which is me. So I'm hopeful.
You have a passion. You don't know. You live. You're
right.
It's all.
This is my nonprofit application mess. It's right here on my desk that I'm working through and trying to refile because my business plan is terrible. So I have my little homework, and this is what I do in between planning.
I don't know anything about business. Like you see, I talk about angel investor, but I don't know where to use it.
So, and every day, more and more of us expect more and more free online.
Yes.
So being all online is an extra challenge, trying to get any income. But meanwhile, I love what I do, and I will continue to find a way. I will not give up. Determination will get me there.
Stay strong.
And I hope I will get to travel many, many places.
Yeah.
So I am a homebody because I'm married to a homebody and my mother
Oh
is
God!
nearby.
I know I have a friend. He loves to travel, and his wife is like staying in the middle under the blanket. Not, he's walking to the
Many,
house with a blanket over her. It's too cold. It's too hot.
many
Don't go
people
anywhere.
wondered
Yeah.
how we would ever stay together because when I met Warren, he lived in upstate New York, and if you know the geography of the U.S. at all, upstate New York is very close to Canada.
Yes.
And he grew up there his entire life, went to college even closer to the border. He was less than 20 miles from the border.
And never.
He had never been to Canada, unfortunately. He had never been to another
The
country.
sign was there, but you didn't see it. See? So you don't have to blame me, Warren, anymore.
So he has expanded his horizons. And he lets me go. He's fine for me to fly away here and there.
I told my friend, just go you and someone else. But still, we are, in our culture, we are back to go with someone else. If it's a boy, you are a gay. If it's a girl, oh, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Anyway, it's not good. If you go alone, yeah, it's not good. You have something in mind. Yeah.
Well, after 34 years, I guess we can. 35 years, I forgot a year. 35 years.
It's a life.
I guess we can trust each other a little bit to come
But the new trend is to go apart on vacation. You stay all year together and on vacation.
So
Everyone goes where you want.
So many things are planned and ideas are out there. But a leaf man's got to go where the wind blows.
Yeah.
And the wind is blowing to past our hour. So I have got to go.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks for your pronunciation practice.
Yeah.
I hope you have the chance to play in the leaves more often.
Yes. Next year now are wet. Like
All right.
it's
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.